Record. So we're live now. Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in a minute. And yeah. Oh, how come? Okay. So maybe I'm going to put this up then because it's going to help me with the screen share. Start screen share. Can you see that? Oh, you wouldn't see it. You're not on the webinar. I think I'll skip that. I'll present to everyone. There's no viewers. Okay. Oh, it's recording. So everybody's going to see that I'm sitting here going, no viewers. Now you're, yeah, right. Oh, that's right, because you're on there too. I want to play with the screen share. That one. I hope that that's coming through. Okay. Oh, yay! Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in a minute, but while you're coming in, I have Lakia on with me for a minute. What is that request thing? Okay. So as you know, I'm still learning how to use webinars, and I have my wonderful Lakia Robinson, who's phenomenal at helping me with doing my webinars. And she's not going to be with me the whole time. She's letting me fly on my own, which, you know, we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be fun because Spirit's with us. So for those of you that are on, I want to know where you are. So tell me where you are, and we're going to start in a few minutes getting into this webinar. We see your screen. We hear you. I know. Thank you, Kimberly. I wonder if that's Kimberly Maska, my partner in HPHI. That's okay. I did a screen share. I was playing with my screen. They're not still seeing the screen share. No. Are you still seeing the screen share? South Carolina, Kathy from South Carolina, Linda from New York City, Lynn from Tahunga. John from Chicago. You got Kimberly in Fairfield, Nancy in Dallas. How exciting. Oh, Saskatoon, Canada. Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Mel. Great to see you. Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. We just spoke. How are you? Nice to see you here. Hi, Rhonda. So great, guys. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. We're going to let people join in, and I'm really excited. We have Paula from Victoria. Sean in Austin, hello. And you know, while you guys are pouring in, let's ask just a quick question. I want to see, like, just tell me why you're here. You know, give me a quick answer as to why you're here. Jill from West Virginia. And Lakia, I think I'm okay. As everybody hears me talk to you, I really don't care. That's life. Okay, so that's Lakia. Lakia is leaving me on my own, and we are going to get started in 2 minutes, but I just want to keep hearing from you. All right, sweetie, I'm going to hang up on you on Skype. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, honey. Bye. Modern technology. When I was working in production, we didn't have any of this. Okay, I got to go back to hello, Katie from Cincinnati. Great. Okay, guys, I'm going to get started with our symbolic language of our guides. And I'm really super excited to teach you guys this material, because the symbolic language of our guides, that's how our guides speak to us. And they speak to us through many different things, but in the beginning, it'll usually be through symbols. It'll be through repetitive visual symbols as well as auditory symbols. And there's many different things. But on this webinar, I'm going to focus on the visual symbolic language. And I want to teach all of you how to break down the symbols for yourself, because we're so dependent on what other people, their their interpretation of particular symbols, numbers, colors, butterflies, animals, insects, trees, that besides the fact that we're going to talk about that, I want to teach you how to break down your own symbols so that you know how to really have a conversation with your guides. So we are going to have a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know me, you're on my page, so I think you probably know me. You're going to be on my YouTube page too, watching this later on. But I'm Marilyn Aloria. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a teacher, a mentor, and a channeler. And my big belief in my work is that we all have this gift. And my goal in this business is to teach all of you how to use your gifts. Because many years ago when I started channeling, I was in a not a great position. I was depressed, suicidal, not happy, really struggling. And I started working with somebody who understood mediums, and I learned how to start channeling. I channeled right away because they just started coming in at that point. And it really helped me to get clear about my purpose here on the earth, why I'm here and the universe. And it's really been quite amazing and exciting. Okay. So keep coming in. We're going to do a Q&A. I'm going to teach you for a bit. We're going to do a meditation where you're going to do, because I believe in teaching through experience. You're not going to learn just by me lecturing. No, 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 no. So I am going to teach you. We're going to play a game. You're going to do it. And then I'm going to do Q&A with all of you again, so I can connect with you and do some readings and answer your questions and all of that. So I want to tell you a bit about my story, about what happened for me. Look, you know how I am. I'm just going to be wacky. I am. If you don't like it, shut it down, leave me. But this is me. I'm wacky. How many of you have seen repetitive symbols, such as numbers over and over again, or visual symbols? Tell me what they've been. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the chat room, and I'm going to watch as you write in what those symbols are. And I'll say hi to Franny in Germany. Kirsten, as you guys are getting ready to answer that question. So what I want to know is if you've had the experience. 1111, that's a big one, Jolinda. Kirsten, I'm going to answer your question first. Do I have that gift? Yes, everybody has the ability to open up to the gift because the dimensions, the shield is thinner between the dimensions, and we're much more conscious. So 1111, that was a big one that I got through that whole 1111 thing that I didn't get into. And you really want to know what your numbers mean to you, which we're going to talk about later on because you're going to learn how to do that. Triple numbers all day long, feathers daily. How many of you get feathers? Feathers are so cool. And the number thing is so big. And so many people get triple numbers, which means that there's a bigger message for you. It's not just when it's just a 5 that you keep seeing, that's great. It means something. It's usually, for me, it's about transition. But when you see like triple numbers, it's a bigger message for all of you. Hi, Yvette in Syracuse. Yes, feathers. Everybody's getting feathers. Feathers are usually spirit talking to you, spirits coming to you. So that's what feathers usually mean, but we're going to talk about that. Great. Okay, so we're going to move on. Nancy, don't worry about it if you used to get feathers and you haven't seen any in a while. What you don't want to do is get caught up in the fact that you're not seeing them, because that puts you in a kind of like an unhappy place, like, oh, it's not happening for me anymore. You want to just say, okay, maybe there's new symbols, and start inviting that in, because that's really, really good. Goosebumps is a wonderful one. That's confirmation for me, Suzanne. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. And I have all these beautiful slides for you, but I can almost guarantee we may not get to them. One of my things that I was seeing was the word ghost everywhere. Now, I was not a medium yet. I was starting to see spirits, but I didn't understand it. I still thought I was kind of crazy and wacky and, all those types of things. And I kept seeing the word ghost wherever I went. I would see them see it written on books. I would see it written on the wall. Somebody would say the word ghost. And I was like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And that was like 13 years ago. It was a really, really long time ago. And now I understand what they were doing, because during that time, that's when I found the therapist who helped me to start channeling. That's when I started understanding that I had a deeper gift. So Spirit was giving me this symbolic language of ghosts and trying to show me that there was something there. And I knew enough in my life to say, wait a second, this means something. This isn't happening out of coincidence. It's the same story. It's not on my new website, but how I kept getting locked in rooms and I knew that there was something there, that wasn't just a coincidence. So you want to pay attention to those things because your guides are trying to get your attention through these different words and stuff. If you don't know what a guide is, go to the webinar that I did before this one, which is how you can feel your guides. And I have a whole webinar there that's a lot of fun with your guides. Another symbol that they can do, they did for me, was butterflies. I was having a really, really difficult time. It was a horrible experience. I'm not going to get into it. And I was so upset, and I decided to just go for a walk with my dog. And I went for a walk with my dog, and I came upon this beautiful butterfly on this post. And I went up to it and I was like, I'm just going to try to pet it. And I started petting the butterfly. And then the butterfly started like dancing around me, and we were like weaving and bopping together. It was the thing I've ever experienced where we were dancing together. And then the butterfly landed again and I pet it again. It let me touch it. And I knew, even though I wasn't fully engrossed in my gifts yet, I didn't understand what was going on with me, I knew that that was something bigger than me telling me that everything was going to be okay, and it was. So it gave me the confidence that I needed to go home and listen to a voicemail message that I was avoiding. And then it allowed me to take action that I needed to take in order to clear up the situation. So you want to pay attention to these symbols from your guides because they're trying to support you. They're trying to help you. They're trying to show you that they have your back. They're trying to help you make clearer decisions, more conscious decisions. They're showing you like the times when you feel alone, or maybe if you want to do something and you're like, should I do that thing? And they're going to bring in symbols to show you what to do. So let me talk about symbols in the clairvoyant sense. I'm not going to go into clairvoyancy in this webinar too much, but how many of you feel that you already have clairvoyancy? Clairvoyancy is clear seeing. It lives in your third eye chakra. So how many of you are already having experiences? There's different ways of seeing. And like I said, I'm not going to go into much detail in this webinar, but it's like third eye projection. There's physical. We're going to talk a tiny bit about it because of the symbols. But I want to hear from you if you've had any clairvoyance experiences, clear seeing experiences, and if you know what it is. Renee says sometimes. And that's it. I'm sure all of you are answering and just going in. Cheryl says, sometimes I see. Clairvoyance and clairaudience from Elizabeth. I'm going to cover some of these topics in webinars in the future. And Karen says, yes, I see when I meditate on a person's question. That's great. Somebody's having audio issues. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm so new with this that hopefully somebody else can help you on the chat. I get words in my head like on a black screen. Sometimes I see mini movies. Perfect. Kimberly says she's psychic, lots of experiences. So that's great. So there's different ways to see, and clairvoyancy lives in your third eye chakra. We're going to focus on physical projection, like what I've been talking about, seeing actual things in your physical presence, seeing the word ghost, seeing butterflies, seeing trees, things like that, seeing repetitive numbers. So I'm not going to focus on the things that you see inside your third eye or other ways that we can see. Like I said, I'll cover that later. So if you're having difficulty with your third eye opening up, what you can do is, the color is indigo. You can draw something indigo or get a colored sheet that's like indigo, or something that is colored indigo, a scarf or something, and you can meditate on it. And as you meditate on it, bring the color into your third eye. And what that's doing is helping you to open up your third eye chakra. It's helping you to communicate with the color, communicate with the connection to the color, communicate with the gift in the color, can you open up to it, the willingness to open up to it. So that's one way that you can open that up. Another way you can do it is just to meditate on your third eye and look at it as if it's a room. See it as a room, like you go inside. Everybody do this now, because you know what? I think we need a little grounding because I'm flying all over the place. So everybody close their eyes. I never know where I'm going to go. I prepare syllabuses, slides. They take me everywhere. Take 3 deep breaths into your stomach. When you're taking breaths into your stomach, what you're doing is calling yourself back into your body. You're calling yourself away from the day. Now go into your third eye chakra, which is behind your brow, and see it as a room. And open it up with 4 walls, a ceiling, a floor. Paint the walls in that indigo color. Decorate the room, put a rug down, put couches down, a lamp, whatever you want. Spend a little time in this room right now. And if you're having difficulty seeing, use feeling or use hearing. Use whatever spirit is giving you. Even if you're just seeing one thing, focus on that one thing. Maybe all you're seeing is black because you're not seeing anything, or you're seeing your lids of your eyes closed. You want to hyper focus on that then. You never want to get into the thoughts of, I can't do this, I'm not doing this right. You always want to go with what's being presented to you. Now, take ownership of this room. And there's different ways to take ownership of this room. You can write your name on all the walls. You can put something really special in this room. You can open up a window and invite in godlike energy. Do something, whatever comes to you right now, special in this room for you. Okay, you can open your eyes. Whew, that grounded me. The other thing that you can do is you can work with crystals. I don't work with crystals because I'm too sensitive for them. So a lot of times I find people don't know how to clear crystals very well. So I usually can't be around them. And my own crystals, I would have to clean them quite a bit. But I do work with crystal energy, because even though I don't have the crystal in front of me, I can work with the energy of the crystal. Spirit taught me that. But you can work with special crystals like aquamarine, spectral light, that's to name a few, that will help you to open up your clairvoyancy. So you can hold them in your hands. You could look at a picture on Google of that particular gem, and you can pull it into your third eye chakra and see it in there. You could just ask to work with the energy of the crystal, and that'll help to open your clairvoyancy, your third eye chakra. Another thing you can do, last but not least, is ask your angels and your guides to help you to open up your eyes, to help you to open up your third eye chakra, to work with clairvoyancy. You can do that every single night when you go to bed, and you can bring your attention, and you can even bring your attention by just touching your third eye chakra. And you can ask, and I'm sure, I don't know which angels are the ones that specifically work with this, but you could, of course, find that out. There's so much information on the internet, as well as Doreen Virtue's books. You can just touch it and ask that particular angel to help you open up your clairvoyancy. And then in the morning when you get up, I would do the same thing. And if you do this for 7 to 21 days, it's going to start bringing in the energy of opening it up. What you're doing is bringing consciousness to it. You're bringing consciousness to this ability. You're bringing willingness to this ability. You're saying, okay, Spirit, I'm ready to do it. So that's what that does, okay? Your guides, like I said, will speak to you in a symbolic language. I'm going to give you some other examples because that's the best way I teach. I don't teach through definition. So when I was starting to open up to my clairvoyancy and studying about clairvoyancy, I knew that I had guides around me. And I'm going to talk about physical projection, not actually physical projection, physical symbols in the physical world. So I remember I was walking to the park one day, and I kept seeing squirrels everywhere I went. Now, you see squirrels all the time at the park, right? But this was different. My energy was drawn completely to the squirrel. It was like everything else went away. And the squirrel was it was just me and the squirrel. It's like when you fall in love, you know, and you're out on a date in a busy restaurant, and it's just you and the guy, or you and the girl, or whatever it may be. It's just you and them, and you're just like, everything else goes away. That's the energy that is behind these symbols. And I want you to start learning the energy behind it. I want you to start being aware of it, because that's going to help you to know when one thing is more important than another. So I kept seeing these squirrels, and I was like, this is not coincidence. I could feel it. There was something different. And I didn't yet know what animals meant. So I went to one of my favorite books is Ted Andrews' Animal Speak and Animal Spirit. And I went to his book and I read about squirrels, and squirrels were all about playing and having fun, which I really needed at that time of my life. So Spirit was trying to get me to play more. They were trying to get me to have some fun and do some joy. Another thing that happened to me was I was walking with my dog and a mourning dove attacked me, like out of nowhere. This friggin' dove just kept coming down at me and I was like running, fearing for I'm a girl from Brooklyn, and I could not, like, I was petrified. I felt like I was in the birds. And so I knew at that time. I told the the therapist that I was working with that was also a medium, and she said, you need to look up mourning doves. And we looked them up and we found out that they obviously, I can't remember what it meant at the time, but it was definitely extremely important for me. So what I'm going to teach you is how to break down symbols. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about two things. One of the ways that you can break down a symbol is, you know what, let me hear from you. What do you guys do to break down a symbol? Right now, like if you're getting repetitive symbols of numbers, or you're seeing butterflies wherever you go, if you're seeing ladybugs, I'm going to tell you a really great ladybug story. What do you do? Where do you go to find the information? Oh, that's great, Monette, that your third eye started vibrating when you did the meditation exercise. I love hearing that. So tell me where you go to get this information. And while you do that, I'm going to cheat and look at my notes, because all my beautiful slides, well, I'm going to have to let it go. Okay, you Google it. Yes, we're going to talk about Google. Internet search, yes. Look up spirit meaning on Google. Yes, seems like everybody does Google. I meditate on it and go inside. Woohoo, Elizabeth, we're going to talk about that. Internet, Jay, great. Whew, got a little hard stuff with that. Internet and Ted's books, great. Ted Andrews, I have my own associations. That's wonderful, Paula, really, really great. I use Google or talk to friends. Lauren says I ask spirit, beautiful. Great. Kelly says she usually reflects what it means to her and then an internet search. You guys are friggin' great. I'm probably not supposed to curse on Google Hangouts, and I won't. So that's some of the ways to look. So when I started doing this work, it was actually through dream work. And I'm sure you guys are going to want me to teach a webinar on dream work, because it's the most fascinating work around. It's crazy good. I'm writing everything down. I have to do that. I know that you get me. So you can go to the internet, but what's really, really important for me is when you go to the internet and you Google the symbolic meaning of butterflies, you know that 100 websites are going to come up. You have to take the one that resonates with you, because there's so many times I'll go on and I'll read it. Like usually spirit just takes me to the one, and I'm sure this happens to you guys, to the one that I need to go to. And then sometimes I'll second guess it and go, yeah, I really wanted to hear that. That was too good. I just picked that one. And then I'll go to another one. And then I'll be like, oof, I don't like that one at all. I'm going back to the first one. So pick the one that resonates with you, because you are the master of your life. You're the judge. You're the one that does the radar. You're the radar for it. You know what's best. When I was doing dream work, I didn't have the internet. So I had a lot of books. So I was like a bookaholic on symbols. And a lot of them were Carl Jung books, J-U-N-G, if people don't know Carl Jung. He was a famous psychiatrist who did dream work. And he has a lot of symbolic meaning books. So I bought a lot of those books, and that's what I did. And the other thing is personal experience, which some of you already said, which is what we're going to learn today. It's really super important that you pay attention. And I'm going to give you some tools today so that you can start reading for yourself, because that's my biggest goal as a medium, is to teach you how to read for yourself and channel for yourself. And not to write it off to coincidence. How many of you have written it off to coincidence? So I'm going to want to see that. How many of you have written it off to coincidence? And while you're telling me that, I'm going to tell you a really great story. So I was doing... I was sending out newsletters about different things, and I sent out a meditation about how to meet your higher self. So a client of mine did a meditation about her meeting her higher self. And her higher self, she asked a question, something she wanted an answer to, and her higher self gave her ladybugs. And she was like, ugh, come on, ladybugs, really? I'm just making this up. This is not true. It's because I want it to be ladybugs. I don't believe you. So then the next day she went to the beach and she sat on the beach and she was meditating. And she said she opened her eyes and looked down at her hands and there were ladybugs all over her hands. And she sent me the pictures of the ladybugs. They were all over her arms and hands. And she said, I'll never doubt again. You never want to doubt. You really want to trust it. People are saying, I don't write off coincidence, though I do doubt it from time to time. That, you know, you want to do your best not to, but of course we're human. And sometimes when you're having a lot of bad breaks, it's hard not to write it off to coincidence because you're like, how could, you know, come on, something's got to change for me. Jolinda says she doesn't believe in coincidence anymore. I love that. I don't feel like I do either, but sometimes I will doubt a little bit. I will doubt it. Suzanne says now she's paying attention. She used to write it off to coincidence. So that's really great. Okay, good. So now before we play a game, I'm going to ask you a question. I asked this on my Facebook page. And for those of you who joined me live, you were going to get the answer today. So for those of you who aren't on my Facebook page, you should run and join my Facebook page because I'm constantly playing games. I'm constantly teaching and I do interact with you. I don't do readings on the page, although I did do free readings last week. So every now and then I do that. But I do support you in all your tools and gifts and everything. So I asked you to think of a question that you wanted an answer to. Okay, so everybody think of a question that they wanted an answer to. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 things to pick. And some of you already did this because you're on my Facebook page. Pick plane, car, or boat. Plane, car, or boat. The answer to that question. What does Spirit want you to pick? Plane, car, or boat? And you can even close your eyes. Look at your third eye. What do you see? Matter of fact, everybody do that. Close your eyes. Because you may have heard plane, but what are you seeing? Like I'm seeing a car. All right, so I'm going to give you my symbolic meaning that's going to be channeled in right now for plane, car, and boat. If you got a plane, Spirit is saying that the answer to your question right now is to let go, to let Spirit take you on the ride, to enjoy the journey, to go into meditation, to go outside, look into the clouds, be with the clouds, and really allow Spirit to speak to you. Give yourself a time period, whether it's 24 hours or 7 weeks or 7 days, and allow Spirit to take you on your trip. Allow Spirit to show you what you need to know. And when you do that, when you release, this is for people who got the plane. When you release to Spirit, you have to promise to pay attention. You have to promise to not write things off to coincidence. So if all of a sudden somebody's talking about a book you need to read, and then somebody else talks about a book, and then somebody else, hey, that's 3 times, go get the book, okay? That's what plane means. For those of you who got the boat, Spirit is saying for those of you who got the boat, you need to have some fun. You need to trust in your destination. You need to ride the waves of life, and you need to believe in dreaming and wish fulfillment. What they're saying to me right now is for those are the people who got the boat to the answer to their question. It's because they're dreaming and they're believing, and then they get excited, and then something doesn't happen or it doesn't work out. So they just pull it up and they say, forget it. Spirit's not doing it for me. And they said, no, those are the people that need to ride the waves, to never give up, to know that they have to stay committed to it, and to keep going with it and enjoy life. And I would even say for those people to go spend some time by water, and say you're in a place where you can't spend some time in water, then pull up on Google some beautiful images of oceans, lakes, whatever kind of body of water you like, and meditate with it. So that's those for those people. For those of you who got a car, interesting, they showed me a car. The answer to your question is about getting in the driver's seat. You are not living your life by anybody else's agenda. You're not living your life by doing it by how people want you to do it. You're in the driver's seat of your life, and you have to drive. You make your choices every day. I want you to be very clear and conscious about your choices. I want you to really say to Spirit, I'm willing to do this. I'm going to do this. Show me where to go. Show me who to speak to. Show me what you want me to do. And you're going to get in the driver's seat of your life and you're going to go. And then when the negative Nellies come in, you're going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not listening to you. So that was the answer that was on the Facebook page and the answer to those questions. All right. How many of you are ready to go to work? You ready to go to work? Let me know. The games are fun, Lynn says. Thanks, Lynn. I love the games. They are so much fun. Daisy, I'm sorry you can't hear anything. I'm new to webinars, so you can't even hear me answer this. Somebody's saying hit the reconnect. Thanks, Renee, for giving the answer. Thank you, guys. All right, so we are going to do some work now. I am going to teach you how to read for yourself, okay? How to do symbolic readings for yourself. All right, everybody. Whew. Close your eyes. Gave you a little boob shot there. Breathe into your stomach. Go into your third eye chakra. Open it up. Now remember, when you work with me, you always have to trust your imagination. And you can't question your imagination. We're not going to write anything off to coincidence. We're just going to allow it to be, okay? So be in your third eye chakra. Get a nice comfy chair in there. And if you're having a trouble seeing, don't worry about it. Think of a comfy chair that you like and just sit in it. And I want you to think of a question. So I'm going to give you about 10 seconds or so. It might be the same question you just had, and you can do that because we're going to talk about ... You don't need to know what that means right now. So just sit in a minute and just feel what Spirit wants you to know. Just come up with a question with them. All right. So I want you to picture a large, screen, large movie screen. And I want you to see it black or white, but let it be one of those colors if you can. And if it wants to be another color, I'm never a teacher that says no, it has to be black or white. Let it be what it wants to be. Now I want you to ask Spirit to show you a number and have that number be a color. Now it could be a triple number, that's okay. Show you a number and have it be a color. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about this. How do you feel about this number and this color? How does it make you feel? And if you're having trouble, drop into your heart chakra and see how you feel. Do you like this number? Do you not like it? What does it remind you of? Do you already know what this number means? And if you don't, what do you think this number means? What's your first memory of this number? What's your first memory of the color that this number is in? Do you like this color? How does it make you feel? Now take all of that, how you feel about the number, how you feel about the color, what you remember about it, your first memory of it, and apply it to the question. It may not answer the question, but it may give you more understanding. Okay, we're going to play more. I want you to open your eyes and I want to hear from you about what you got from that. And if you got nothing from it, say it. Don't be afraid to tell me the truth. I work in truth. I don't work in anything else. So I want to hear. Jolinda says she doesn't remember much about her childhood. So here's a good point. I'm not necessarily asking about your childhood too. So that's great. I understand that, Jolinda, that some people just don't remember much about their childhood. But if I asked you like your first memory of the color, let spirit take you on a journey. Maybe they're going to show you a past life. Maybe they're going to show you your memory of the color yesterday. Maybe they're going to show you something in fantasy. Just allow it to be, allow it to show to you. So I want to hear what some of you, and everybody, thank you for helping Daisy to try to hear. I really appreciate that. I can't help, unfortunately. So I just want to hear from all of you about what you got from that. Flashing colors, no single one, Candace said. So Candace, I would want to know, out of all those colors, what one of them means to you. I'm going to tell you about ... And you never want to just end with a period. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Renee said number 9, white, serene, calmness. So Renee, I'd want you to apply that to the question. Are you feeling serene? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling anxious about the question? Number 9 is a soul number. It's a final ending number. So it allows you to answer your question that way. Whatever your question was, you need to answer it. Connie got a huge yellow 1. Yellow is happy and cheerful. 1 is simple, not complex. 1 step, not overwhelming. So Connie, great understanding. I would say whatever question you had, that's what Spirit is telling you. They're telling you to take it slow, take the next indicated step. Don't drive yourself nuts. Don't feel overwhelmed, and enjoy it. Alexander said, I didn't see the image, the number, and color pops in as a thought. That's totally fine, Alexander. You want to work with your thoughts then, because you may be having claircognizance. So whatever it is, you let Spirit work with you. Barbara got 6. It was gold. Went to a book as a child about numbers and the gold, that it was like the top of a cathedral. Then I kind of drifted off. Drifting off will happen. Drifting off happens sometimes because there's a deeper understanding that your ego may not want you to know right now. That doesn't have to be the only understanding. I would ask you to meditate more on a cathedral and what gold. Gold is a very high Christ-like color. So it's interesting to me that you would get that. I have Nancy, she got blue 7, my favorite color and number. Blue is my color for peace, and 7 reminds me, of course it went so fast. 7 reminds me of power and magic. So Nancy, I would tell you to take that meaning to the question. Take that meaning. So I want all of you now to tell me if you were able, we're going to go further, if you were able to apply the meanings to the question, and did it give you, did it give you more understanding? Or are you lost? All right. Alita said you always have the best exercises. Thank you, Alita. I'm going to take that compliment. So now let me know if you applied this to your question and if it helped you to understand more or if it just confused you. Deborah got 34 rainbow color. I like odd numbers. Don't know what 34 means, but feel it means to go for something different. Love that, Deborah. You took a risk. Took me to when I was 34, not sure of the significance. Yay, Deborah. Gonna explain. Gonna explain this Brooklyn accent. So 34 took you to something in your year, your age of 34. You want to later on, not right now while I'm speaking, go back to the year of 34 and go back to what you were doing. Maybe one of the most challenging times in 34 and maybe one of the most exciting times. And you want to see if there's anything that was going on in your year when you were 34 that is repetitive now, that is happening now? Is there a lesson that's being repeated that you're getting a deeper understanding about? Is there something that Spirit wants you to remember that you did courageously, or you took a risk and they're saying, come on, you can do it again? Go back to that year. Because many times in readings, I'll get people's years and I'll say, that was a bad year for you. You got to go back. You got to look at the lessons you learned. You got to apply it to this year. Or that was a great year. You were courageous. You took risks. You got to apply it to this year. Nancy says, I think I understand. I need to be more confident in my action and trust myself. Nancy, that's great. I say everything's great because it is, because we're learning about ourselves. And I'm going to start doing masterminding groups for that exactly thing, for sitting in your trust, sitting in your truth, and moving forward. So just know that you're aware of it. And that's the biggest thing. Karen couldn't come up with a question. So Karen, I would suggest that you sit with the responses and just see how they apply to your life in the next couple of days, because this is going to stay with you. Suzanne said, apply to question, how to have more experience of freedom in my life. Color was great, orange, but number 2 had felt boring and stilted. Love that, Suzanne. I'm going to tell you why. Rhonda's confused, and I'll help you in a second, Rhonda. Suzanne, the color orange is about creativity for me. It's your second chakra. Freedom in your life. What in your life is making you feel trapped? I'm doing a lot of work right this. If you're on my newsletter list, get on it, because I'm giving a free ebook soon. That's going to be really great. And it is about making sure your life is not boring, making sure you have excitement. I just went through this myself, so I want to teach it to all of you. So it's great. Like, I want you, Suzanne, to think about where do I need to get freedom? Where do I feel freedom? Why do I feel like I don't have freedom? What can I do to create freedom in my life? And 2 is usually partnerships for me. So it's interesting that felt boring and stilted. So I would apply freedom to where you're feeling bored, and just play with those 2 words on top of each other, and those 2 experiences on top of each other right now. Okay. Rhonda said she was confused. I'm not really sure. Just the word confused. What I would suggest, Rhonda, without knowing more, is to just be with the confusion. We fight so much when we don't get certain things. Like, some people be like, I'm not getting anything. Then I'm like, well, then be with the anxiety of it, because there's information in the anxiety. Okay. So I'm going to move on. I want to talk to you about ... is something I teach all my members in membership and in my other programs. I want you to never, from now on, when you're doing this work, you're never allowed to stop with a period. You always have to go into ... So we just did an exercise. We asked questions twice. Now, maybe you asked the same question in the plane, boat, car, in the second one with the number and the color. What that means is you never want to say, Spirit just told me I need more freedom, period. No, you want to say, okay, so what does that mean? ... Where do I need to go to get more freedom? Where in my life am I not feeling freedom? Why do I not feel freedom? Where did I feel freedom? Did I ever feel free? Who's not making me feel free? And do they have the right to not make me feel free? That's ... Your life needs to be lived in a ... It's not a scary place. It's a phenomenal place, because it means expansion. It means growth. It means living in your soul alignment. It means living in truth. And it's really phenomenal. So now we're going to build on a symbol and take this further, okay? All right. Everybody close their eyes. Breathe again. It's always good to breathe into your stomach, because we're all in each other's energy and we're all excited. Maybe some of you are bored. Whatever is going on, we may be getting into others' energy. So you just want to breathe into your stomach, calling your spirit back to yourself. And now I want you to go into your third eye chakra again. Notice if it's changed any. Is the room more vivid? What does it feel like in there? Has it shifted any for you? Are you noticing that it's connected to other chakras, like your heart chakra or your first chakra? And now I want you to really think of a question. Try not to let it be a yes or no question. Let it be a life question. Could be the same question. And for those of you who want to learn how to build on a symbol, you can leave it with the same question. But if you want, if Spirit's like, no, let's ask a new question, go ahead. Now I want you to open your eyes and scan the room. And I want you to scan the room and notice if your eyes get locked in on an object. And if they don't worry about it. I'm going to handle that in a second. So scan the room and see if your eyes get locked on an object. And if they don't, stop on an object right now. Now I want you to look at that object, and you can get up and look at it, but it's hard to hear me if you do that, if you can't do it. Like I'm seeing the clock behind me, so they're making me lock in on that object. And I want you to just notice what you feel about the object. What do you feel about it? Do you remember when you bought it or who gave it to you? Do you like it? What does the color of the object make you feel? What do you feel or think your guides are trying to communicate with you through this object? What do you think the meaning of this object is? How do you feel this object is answering your question? What do you think it's communicating to you about the question? You always want to be aware of the feeling the object incites inside of you. Now I want you to, I'm going to teach you something which I didn't think I was going to teach, and we're going to go a little bit further. I now want you to close your eyes, and with the meaning they've just dropped in of that object, like your understanding of that object and how it applies to your question, I want you to ask another question or for a deeper meaning. Anything that you feel like you're confused about or you need further understanding of. So now that you have the question, we're going to do something that I wasn't going to teach, but they're asking me to teach it. I want you, in a moment, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to see a projected image in the room. Now, Spirit may say, you're seeing a rabbit. Don't worry if some of you get frustrated with this. This can be complex in the beginning, and I may not be making it clear. But when you see a projected third eye image, it means it's not exactly existing in the room, but Spirit's projecting it into the room. So it may look like it's not even that clear or vivid. Like if I want to see it, right now I'm seeing a tortoise in the room. So it's not like it's really fully vivid. So open your eyes and ask Spirit to show you a projected image in the room. Now, if you're having a difficulty with this, you can close your eyes or just pick an animal. Just pick an animal. Now, how does this animal make you feel? Or how does this projected image that Spirit showed you make you feel? Do you like this? Or does it make you feel fear? Do you remember your first experience with this thing? Or have you ever had an experience with it? Maybe you're seeing something that's foreign. Maybe some of you just don't know what the heck I'm talking about and you're just getting frustrated. are communicating to you about this projected image or the animal that you chose. If you didn't get one, remember, pick an animal, anything that drops into your awareness right now. How do you think this animal or this projected image is answering the further question? Okay. So now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to go into your third eye chakra. And I want you to sit in that big comfy chair again. And I want you to recognize yourself. We have now been online for almost 50 minutes. How are you different now than when you started out 50 minutes ago, 47 minutes ago? How, if any, has this experience changed you? What deeper understanding do you have of yourself, if any? And what action do you need to take? Okay, you can open up your eyes. So I want to hear from you, but I want to explain something first. Any animal that you got, or if you got, like I got the clock behind me, the white clock, you can see it. And you know what that clock reminded me of? It doesn't work. And I need to get a new clock that works, because that was a big thing between, I had a designer come in and help me design my house. And she was like, if that clock doesn't work, you need to get rid of it. And I was like, I don't feel like paying money for a new clock. You know, it was that kind of scarcity consciousness from a while ago. Need to get rid of the freaking clock or get it to work. So that's what Spirit was telling me. Besides, I didn't get into too much of it. So you want to look up, I would, like, if I didn't know what clocks meant to me, I would look up the symbolic meaning of the clock. I would look up somebody got a horse, the symbolic meaning of a horse. So I want you to go further with the symbols that you got today in your room and the animal. I want to know if you got the third eye projected symbol. The last part that I did with you, whether you changed or not, is really important, because you're always with yourself. You're always working with yourself. And it's my goal as a teacher to teach you how to be your own best guide, judge, mentor, teacher for yourself. My biggest thing right now, my biggest soapbox, is to stop living by other people's agendas. And that's my soapbox for everybody, okay? So it's okay to have teachers and mentors and all that kinds of stuff, because you learn things. I'm a big, voracious reader. I'm studying a lot of marketing stuff now because that excites the heck out of me, more so than spiritual stuff. Though I have my own spiritual stuff because I get it all the time from my guides. So my guides don't really want me to study with any spiritual teachers right now. So I'm reading marketing things like, oh, I'm in love with the stuff I'm reading. And that's fun for me, because that's where I want to take my business. That's where I want to take all of you, to start making a living doing this stuff. And so I want you, the reason why I ask those questions, I want you to see how you're integrated with this. You're part of this. You're part of this. And with your guides, it's a relationship, and you're feeding each other. So let's see what you got. And I know some of you already started answering, so I'm going to go do. Elizabeth said her eyes went to her TV, which is on, but the screen has gone off. Elizabeth, how dare you have your TV on during my Google Hangout webinar. I was told, it's on but not on. I was told I hadn't chosen the channel to the question. Then the projected image was a rose, bought in by a white dove. Beautiful. This experience has shown me that I'm much more connected than I thought I was. Let's everybody clap. That's wonderful, Elizabeth. I love that. So I would suggest to Elizabeth a couple of things. Get beautiful pictures of rose and doves and have them around you, whether they're by your bedside table for a little while, whether you can sleep with them under your pillow to incite more excitement and grow you. or draw them. You don't have to be the best artist in the world. I'm not the best artist, but I love working, and I haven't done it in a while, I know. I love working with colors. So that's how you can take this further. Alita said, an image of unicorn, very beautiful. Have no idea what it means. Please help. Yes. The projection was a horse. Interesting that you got a unicorn and a horse. Is this about grounding? Feel more in peace? Well, I'm not going to say it's not about grounding because that's where you went. So I'm going to say, yes, that's correct. The unicorn for me is about magic, believing there's magic in your life, believing that dreams can come true, believing that the unseen is really real, believing that you can believe in what is not seen. That's what it feels like to me. The horse is something that people believe in, people that see. You know, so what they're trying to say, let me try to say this. The horse is something that everybody in the world, you know, the earth plane, most people believe in horses, but they don't believe in unicorns. So Spirit's saying to you, believe in the unicorn and don't worry about what other people believe. But the horse has power and travel. So I'm trying to get through what they're saying because it's claircognizant. So in other words, do it at your pace. You don't have to go out into the world and say, I believe in magic. You can do it step by step by step, piece by piece by piece. And you could say, I believe in horses, the magic of horses. Horses take me places. Don't think I'm getting that through clear enough. So I'm so sorry for that because it dropped in as a download. Suzanne said, object was large, white therapy ball. Yummy, comforting, and helpful. Large lizard with an eagle. Stand strong in my uniqueness. Love that. And know I have much more support all around. Just look around and know the perfect support for me is there if I choose. I'm not alone, can do what I want to do. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful understanding. Casey stopped on feathers that I picked up at the beach. Okay, Casey, I'm going to yell at you because that's a period. I want to know more about that. I want to know what that feather said to you. What was that time like on the beach? How did you feel? When was the last time you were at the beach? Does the beach make you feel great? Are you not going to the beach? Are you not doing things that make you feel peaceful and calm? So that's what I would say to you. Connie says, my eyes landed on a stapler, then I got a buffalo as an animal. I don't like either of these images. It feels to me like I'm being told that I'm trying to keep things together and being forceful rather than being flexible, free, and playful. Well, Connie, I'm not going to disagree with your understanding because it's your understanding. I'm going to go for me. First, I need you to look up buffalo because I don't know what buffalo means. Stapler for me means pulling things together, organization, keeping things together. Do you feel like you're all over the place? Do you feel like you're distracted? Do you feel like you're unorganized? Trying to keep things together and being forceful rather than being flexible. What about that is forceful? For me, getting organized means that I'm taking care of myself, means that I'm putting myself as a priority, means that I'm going forward. So what about getting organized, putting things together makes you feel uncomfortable? Buffalo, I would be curious as to why you don't like buffaloes. For me, buffaloes are very strong animals. They remind me of prairies, open land. I feel like you need to breathe, need to meditate, be out in the open air, and also be warm. What makes you feel warm and cozy? What makes you feel warm and cozy inside? That's the best I'm doing with that one. I don't feel like I'm having 100% tons fun there. But my whole thing would be like, why don't you feel flexible and free? And why don't you feel like you're not allowed to be flexible, free, and playful? And why can't you have it all while you're being flexible, free, and playful? All right, I'm going to take one more and then Monet said something and somebody's saying same as you, Jolinda, so I'm going to answer this. I don't know if I'm supposed to focus on the peacefulness of the dove, the strength of the hawk, or the wings. I'd say focus on all of it. All of it. All of it's the answer. Peacefulness with strength. Peaceful strength is beautiful, and then it takes you places with the wings. So that's what I would say to you. Lynn said, my eyes landed on the Holy Zohar. I don't know what that is. I have a feeling I know what that is. I feel like it's but forgive me, I'm not going to even say just in case I'm wrong, which I keep in my office for protection. I saw an Indian as an image. I like both. It feels like they're both telling me I need to rely on the universe and my inner self for support. Love that. I am too focused on the external acceptance in work. Great, great, great. Great, great job, everybody. Really great job. So you want to really start doing this more often, practice these. We're going to get to Q&A in a second. And you want to start doing this and learning the energy behind the object. So really, again, focus on the energy behind the object. Like if you thought about it right now, what was the energy like behind the object? Was it the object very vivid? Did it feel strong? Did it feel peaceful? Did it feel neutral? Remember, go back to the other webinar if you didn't watch it, and I talk about feelings, feeling your guides. So you start opening up to how you feel about them. Okay, so now we are going to do a little screen sharing because I am going to talk about something. Oh no, I have another exercise. I'm going to save this exercise for another time. Matter of fact, we'll play it on Facebook. That's what we'll do. I had another exercise. So I'm going to talk about my membership program because webinars are about that. And I love my membership program, and I think it's the most incredible thing. And I am going to get to Q&A. So hopefully you're all seeing that. Hold on a second. Present to everyone. Yes, you are. Okay, great. There you go. Whoops, wrong thing. Oh, of course it went away. Went away. So now you're going to see all my beautiful slides. There they are. Woo, there they go. Okay, membership. I had another slide program, but it just closed. So I love my monthly membership program. The price is going up on December 3rd. So this is your opportunity to get in there and work with some very high level people that are just like you doing the work there. You don't have to be a medium. You don't have to be a psychic to be in this program. This program is to learn. It's to live in your truth. It's to align to your soul. It's to really be connected. It's an opportunity to work with me and other expert teachers. You get, next year it's going to be, a year-long program where you're really going to have a curriculum and real focus on goals, but it's really about having fun and getting out of boredom. What excites you? And the goals are focused in 6 different areas. They are, I'm not going to remember them, career, which is career, money, love, relationships, family and friends, nutrition and health, spirit, connection, and home. Those are the 6 things. So every month we're going to be focusing on those areas, and we're going to be, because what I had found this year is by me focusing, Spirit taught me this year, it really has changed my life, super duper changed my life. And any successful person you read about, they set goals. But my goals are different because they're not about expectations. They're about having fun. They're about bringing more excitement into your life, more enjoyment. So in membership, you get monthly lessons, you get phone readings with me. You know, I do group phone readings and I do try to get to everyone. I do Facebook readings. Those are like super duper popular. I don't know if super duper is coming lately. It's really, really popular. Expert speakers. Now, I have hired people to teach in this program. So I have an animal communicator, Anna Maria Vasquez, an intuitive, Simone Wright, color, amazing woman, Leslie Sloan. They're all amazing. I mean, I'm so grateful for these people for coming and working with me and teaching. And I'm inviting more people that teach you how to blog, people who teach marketing advice. I'm doing everything. And you can skip that particular lesson if it's not interesting to you. Or like what I learn is when I go outside my area of expertise and I learn other things, it just expands me no matter what. You're going to get discounts on classes from me. Those classes, those people, they're part of my membership. You don't pay extra for them. You can write for my newsletter. You can teach for other members in the group if you decide. It's a phenomenally supportive group, and I'm on it from Monday through Friday. It's really, really great. So if you join now, there, I'm going to put the button up now because remember, it's, here's the offer. Hold on. I'm learning how to do this. There it is, load. Okay, so there's the offer, display offer. So if you click here to join, it's only for 48 hours, but that timer is a little screwed up. So you will have it till Friday at 5 o'clock. So just know that you can join. The price is going up on December 3rd, but I have bonuses. If you join within the next 48 hours, I'm going to send you my symbolic class. It's a 3-hour incredible class. It takes this and extends it into this incredible learning. And this class is really going to teach you how to communicate with your guides on a regular basis through symbolic language, which is how they start to work with you very much in the beginning. So you're going to go to that and get that as a bonus. You're also going to get a clairvoyancy class, a clear seeing class. It's a 90-minute class about how to see. So you can click here to join now. Membership's only $74 a month. or you can purchase it for a year. I can't remember the price right now, but I know it's a big discounted price. Like I said, the price is going up December 3rd. So this price will be available till December 3rd, the $74 a month. But the bonuses will only be available for the next 48 hours. So there you have it. Click now and enjoy it. And yeah, that's what I have to say about it. So I really love membership, and I hope you guys come and join me. And we're going to go back to the chat room. So now's the time for Q&A. I don't know if I'm supposed to. No, I think I keep the offer there. I'm going to put up the other offer too. So just because I did it, so why not, right? Oh, no, I'm going to leave it. Okay, great. So now we're into Q&A. So if you have a question, I believe you know how to do it on your page, but you can put a question mark, I believe, in front of the question. And I'm going to give you some readings now. So you can do readings. I'm going to do readings, I mean. So just give me your questions. And Alita, I'm going to start with her. She says, do I have a special gift that I have to focus on and use? Thank you. Alita, for you, I do get a little dizzy with you, Alita. I feel like you need to ground a bit more. So grounding you can do by putting your feet in the dirt, touching trees, playing, eating root vegetables, eating chocolate, eating peanut butter. Those things will help you to ground more. And I feel like it is very visual with you, Alita. I feel like, well, I do feel like your heart's open, so I definitely have empathic ability, which is picking up people's energies and emotions. But I also feel that you, sorry, they're showing me a sign. I also feel like your clairvoyancy is opening up. So I would definitely say work with your clairvoyancy. How you're going to use this in your life, feels to me like you need to be more grounded in your decisions so that you can trust more of your voice as you go forward. And Spirit is suggesting to me that you sing, that you go out and, not go out and sing, that you sing spiritual songs to yourself outside, in the car, in the shower, and that's going to help you to get really comfortable with your voice. Then I have Renee here. My daughter is pregnant with a baby with a birth defect. The baby is good so far, except... I gotta hopefully get to these. Let me hold on a second. Forgive me, Renee, for doing that in the middle of your question. My daughter is pregnant with a baby with a birth defect. The baby is good so far, except for the birth defect. He is expected to be in the hospital for 2 to 4 months and final surgery about 2 years old. Do you see him recovering and living a healthy and joyful life? For Renee, what I got right away was yes. I feel like he will recover. They're reminding me of the stories that I hear Joel. I'm a big fan of Joel Osteen, and he tells a lot of stories about people who had these experiences. His own sister had cerebral palsy, and when she was younger, and was told that she would have difficulty walking her whole life. The parents were told, and she has no cerebral palsy. She's an adult with kids. So I feel like you guys need to surround yourself with positive stories and doctors that are positive about it as well. And I feel like you can start working with this baby now in your daughter's belly by talking to it and telling it that it's healed and it's perfect and it's wonderful, and you know, just sending it healing energy, asking Archangel Metatron to work with your stomach and send the energy in, and really working with that. As for suffering much pain, I heard it's relative. Forgive me for saying that. But what they mean by that is the pain, that the way you understand pain and the way this baby understands pain is two different things. So your understanding of pain, you have to, when you see this baby going through the surgeries, the operations, you've got to take out what you understand pain to be. Because you're an adult, you've experienced life, you have a certain amount of years in life. This baby doesn't have it. I'm going to say that story. They're talking to me. So I want you to take out what you feel about pain. And when you see this baby, see Christ-like energy. See when they're going through surgery, focus on healing. Don't focus on, oh, that must really hurt. Focus on, wow, he's getting healed, or it feels like a he, but I'm not really sure. Focus on the healing energy of the baby. Focus on, you're healed, you're doing okay. Even though stitches look really bad, you're gonna be okay. I'm seeing healing. Put a color on it. Blue is color of healing for me. Focus on that. they're asking me to share, and I feel like this is okay. I work at Children's Hospital with my dog. And what I notice, and this is just my noticing at times, okay? So my narrow perspective of my experience, when people say to you, how do you do it? I find a lot of the times I'm there for the parents, not so much the kids. The kids feel to me like, I feel like, I hate to say this because they feel peaceful to me. They feel like I don't want to say they're okay because they're going through some big challenges, but I get more from the parents needing the support of me and the dog than the child. Even though the dog's on the bed, the little girl was holding the dog's paw. My dog is 100 pounds, but that's what I feel. So I want to share that with you. Okay, Elizabeth, I'm trying to do my healing work, but it stops and stops. How do I get it to flow? Good question. What I would say to you, Elizabeth, is one, I heard you have to trust it. You're not trusting it enough. You're not trusting that you can do it. They said you have to think out of the box in terms of marketing your healing work. They said that you have to go out of the normal realms of healing and start studying like what I do, studying different marketing people that aren't in the spiritual realm. Like I do a lot of Amy Porterfield, and I've been starting to listen to Derek Halpern and Pat Flynn, Smart Passive Income. They said that'll encourage you and give you new ideas. They also said to teach a workshop. And even if you just ask for $10 for the workshop, teach it. Like I'm doing these webinars free. Yes, I'm selling a product. We all know that. Woohoo, that's what I'm doing. But I fully enjoy doing this. I get to connect to you guys, and it's so incredibly exciting for me. That's why I'm moving more into group work, because I get such an energy from it. And I feel like you all, I know from membership, they all learn from each other. When I'm reading a ton of people, they're like, oh my goodness, that resonates with me. That resonates with me. We're a spirit grouping. So Elizabeth, I say to you, get out of the box. Stop focusing on what's not working. Focus on what is working. And I would say teach a workshop. And even if you want to do a donation, do that, because group work is really incredible. Okay, I'm going to go to somebody else now. Renee said thank you. Wendy, I've been on a spiritual path 18 years and still haven't surfaced in service. Well, first of all, Wendy, the fact that it hasn't surfaced in service in 18 years, well, 18 is an interesting number because that's new beginnings in business for me. 1 is new beginnings, 8 is business. It equals a 9, which is a final ending. So I want you to say up until now, it hasn't surfaced in business. It hasn't surfaced in service. I feel like, I'm not going to read the rest of your question yet until I answer this. I feel like you're not trusting enough. I feel like you're waiting, like you have to keep learning. You have to be perfect before you go out and do it. If I'm wrong, great, let me know, because you need to stand in the power of you. But I see too many times people waiting to reach a perfection before they teach, because they think, I can't teach if I'm struggling with such and such. No. You're always going to be learning as a spiritual teacher, always. So you teach from where you're at. So I feel like you have to trust enough to go out and teach. I don't have any clarity about what direction to go in and get pulled off in many directions, as each thing that comes along seems guided by spirit and important in the moment. I'm getting impatient. Here's what I'm going to say to you. You need to focus. That's what happened to me. When we're creative spiritual beings, we get ideas constantly downloading. And this year, Spirit said to me, no more. We are focusing on the one thing, and then we're going to move to that. So this year, my focus was on rebranding, which I've rebranded, and my focus is on membership and my group work, which is where my focus is. They're already downloading a bunch of product idea for me, like you heard me talk about the masterminding groups that I'm going to do, but I can't put that out yet. It's all membership right now. So you need to focus. You need to pick one thing. And when the shiny little apple comes in and like, oh, I want to do that, you can't do it. You have to focus on that one thing. And you have to see it through. And even if you feel like it fails, it never fails. Adversity is a wonderful thing in a spiritual business. You need adversity because that grows you, that expands you, that teaches you what you really want to do. When you're feeling uncomfortable about something, sometimes there's growth in that. You just have to learn. But sometimes it's informing you. You're done. If you're feeling bored, you're done with that particular thing and you need to move forward. All right. Lynn says, I'm considering writing, I'm getting very dizzy, considering writing a book about some unique experiences I've been having with a guide. Great idea. I'm wondering if that is something that is feasible and that people would want to hear about. Lynn, I feel like it's an incredible idea. It's a great idea. I would suggest that you start writing it. I would suggest that you put time aside and write it. I'd suggest you even think about doing some pictures with it, because I keep seeing visual elements, even if it's photographs that you take with your iPhone. I'd suggest you start doing that. I'd suggest you start putting up these stories on a Facebook page. I saw somebody do that. She literally did posts like this long of stories, and then she would continue it. And she's got so many followers. She's been telling this story. So I would suggest you start with that and just start putting it out there. But I feels like, first of all, write the book for yourself. Of course, you're going to have an audience, but you are, I feel like sometimes, of course, you know, there's a customer avatar. You have to know what the audience is you're writing for. But this is your personal experience that I feel like, and you are the perfect customer for this book. So write this book with that in mind and really get it out there. It feels really great. Janet, what am I supposed to do as service with my gift? I want to make this my career. I get breath with you, Janet. I feel like you can't breathe because you're not trusting it. I get that I feel like you're an organizer of some sort. So you may help people organize their life, even if it's through spirit. I feel like you help them to see clearly. I feel like you help them to understand themselves better. I feel like what I would suggest to you, Janet, is you have to do a customer avatar. You have to know who your customer is. A customer avatar is the ideal customer for you. So a lot of people in spiritual communities back away from it because they're afraid they're going to pigeonhole themselves. It's really a very good exercise to get into, just to get an idea and get clarity. Then, Janet, what I'd say to you is create a product. I would want you to create a 4-week class for someone moving forward in 2016, or even you can do it by, the first quarter of 2016, how they're going to get clarity, have the courage to move forward. And you're like, wait, how can I do that? I need the courage to move forward. Yes, that's why you're going to teach it. Because while you're teaching it, you're learning. And while you're preparing the course, a lot of the times I'm preparing the course, learning it simultaneously. And then when I teach it, it's out, it's done. So just do that. That's what I feel for you. But for me, I keep getting like counseling energy, encouragement, motivator. Those are the words that come up with me. So I'd like to know what you think about that. Kathleen says, I've been trying to channel my guides and angels forever. What blocks me and what does Spirit wants me to do next? Wait, this is not, I've been trying to channel my guides and angels forever. What blocks me and what does Spirit want me to do next to open up my abilities? Okay. Did you see what happened, Kathleen? Couldn't even read the question. Couldn't even read it. So I got blocked in the question. What I would say to you is, Kathleen, I want you to work with one guide only. I want you to pick a guide or an angel or ascended master or somebody in spirit that you admire, like Einstein. And I just want you to work with that one guide. I want you to work with them for the next 60 days. I want you to print out a picture, even if it's Archangel Michael, print out a picture of him. We know that there's no pictures of him, but pick out something that resonates with you. I want you to draw a picture of him. I want you to sing a song with him. I want you to write poetry. I want you to talk to him every single day for 60 days, whoever you choose. And then I want to hear from you. Because many times we're trying to get information from a mass of guides or angels, which I feel is what's happening to you. And you may have some pinpointed, but to me, it feels like there's a bunch of them. I couldn't even get through that question. And I feel like you need to pick one. Because when you pick one, I did this in my Channeling 101 class. When you pick one, sorry, they're saying something. Okay, I'm adding a bonus. For those of you who sign up for membership in the next less than 48 hours, you're going to get Channeling 101. So you have until 5 o'clock Friday, Pacific Coast time. If you sign up for membership, you're going to get Channeling 101, which is an amazing class. In that class, I had them pick one angel or ascended master, and they had to channel that particular energy. The reason why you have to do this is because you have to learn their energy. And if you're all over the place trying to find an energy, it could get very confusing, and that's why you can feel blocked. That's what I would say for both those answers to both those questions to open up your abilities. So remember that amazing offer. Woohoo, there it is. Membership, join now. Next 48 hours. I'm now going to throw in Janet's going to, I have to email Janet right away, so it's in there. If you'll get it right away. Channeling 101, I'm throwing in there. It's an incredible class. I think it's like $225 on my website. So you're getting amazing, amazing, amazing bonus. All right, I'm going to take some more. I'm still here. Maria, Marilyn, I'm wondering if you can give me some insight on why I'm not able to get anywhere at my spiritual business and why people don't want to pay for my services. You know, I'm getting so many of you guys join membership, and I'm going to be teaching this. I know, you know what, guys, this is what you're going to learn. It's all part of it. But you know, I'm very transparent. I'm not one of these people that tries to slip it in. You know what I'm here doing? I'm selling membership. And I also believe one of the things Amy Porterfield taught me, and I love Amy Porterfield's podcast, so get on that if you have a business, because it's a lot of great free content. She said, give so much amazing content for free, because they'll be like, I have to buy something from her because I can't imagine how much more incredible it can be. And she also says, do these webinars, and even if nobody purchased from you, you want somebody walking away with something new that they learned from you. And I agree with those philosophies. Maria, for you, again, I feel like a lot of you, it's about trusting. No, you know what it is for you, Maria? You know what I'm getting? Comparison energy. You're getting knocked around by comparison energy. You're looking out there and going, oh, this one's doing that. And if I'm wrong, tell me, because I want to hear it. I'm going to try to look at these chats after. Because I learn from them and then move forward. It's just my business is so busy, I sometimes can't do it all. But Maria, I get like, you look at that person like, oh, she's doing it great, or that one's doing it great. What do I have to offer? Where's my unique qualities? Let me tell you something. You are unique. No one is studying what you're studying. No one has learned what you've learned. Nobody's had the teachers you've had. Nobody's had the ex-boyfriends you've had. No one's had the parents you've had. No one's had the siblings you have. You are teaching what you know and how you've learned it and how it channels through you. Even as a channel, even though things channel through me, my 16 years of therapy is what made me an incredible channel right away, because I learned who I was and who spirit was and how to move me out of the way. So you are unique, Maria, and what's stopping you is that you don't think you're unique enough. That's what I feel like. People not wanting to pay for your services is about your value of yourself. So again, you may be going to the wrong audiences. I would suggest you finding a unity church, a non-denominational church, a spirit church, and offer up a coupon or offer up $10 healing sessions for the first 5 people that sign up, whatever it is. And get to new audiences, get to people that are going to appreciate your work, but you need to appreciate your work, sweetie. And also what I feel like is you need to know that you can do this. That's what it feels like to me. Okay. I'm going to go. All right, let me go to the chat room because I know the questions are there. Suzanne says, I'm like Kathleen, what is a great way for me to start connecting with my guides? I think I'd like to start with one specific one to get up some practice and conversations that I can use the information in my life to trust it and become better at this type of connection. Suzanne, definitely listen to that information and work with one specific guide. You just pick it or just ask your guides right now, who do you want me to work with? I got Saint Germain with you. So I would suggest you work with Saint Germain. Claire says, my life seems to be in chaos. Any insight? Claire, I feel like some of the chaos that you're experiencing right now is from decisions and choices you may have made like a year ago or 2 years ago. Everybody, I want to teach you something right now. When you make clear, conscious choices, like God Spirit said to me the other day, you're making clear, conscious choices right now. I wasn't making those 3 years ago. I was in a little bit of a messy situation. And they said, you're going to see the ramifications, the results of these clear, conscious choices you're making. So you have to just keep trusting that you're making them now. So during this chaos, I feel that it's teaching you how to make clear, conscious choices and to not get thrown by the drama or the chaos, how to react to it differently, how to be different in it, how to be meditative in it, and how to trust. Spirit says it's about trusting spirit, it's about trusting source, how to be really trusting. I get a lot of mother energy with you, and I feel like it's about nurturing self, that you have to cannot abandon yourself, that you have to nurture yourself through this chaos right now, and also get very observant and aware of what your truth is and what you don't want to do anymore and what you do want to do. The chaos is asking you to get clear about what you don't want to participate in any longer. That's what it feels like to me, Claire. All right. Let's see. I'm going to take a couple more and then we're going to end this little kit and caboodle. So Brenda said, so many of you. So this is like amazing to me, because I ask spirit for a certain clientele, right? Because there's a certain clientele I want to work with, and it's all of you, because you're all asking me questions about you. You're all healers, you're all psychics, you're all mediums, you're all on a spiritual journey. You've been on a spiritual journey for a while, and that's what I attract. So I'm attracting that's my clientele. Brenda says, I have a problem in pursuing my goals of healing due to lack of funds. What paths can I follow to resolve the financial issue to enable me to pursue healing? Brenda, you have to get a bridge job. You have to, the problem I feel like I'm getting with you, which comes with people, is if you get a bridge job, what a bridge job is the job that helps you to pay the bills, the job that helps you to do your stuff on the side that you want to do. It's not a taxing job. It's a job that you love doing. It's a job that, forgive me, I'm sorry, I got totally thrown, so I have to close my eyes. It's a job that it's easy. It's a job that pays the bills. It's a job that gives you money. It's a job that lets you go home and not feel emotionally taxed. It's a job that gives you money so that you can pursue what you want to do. I feel like you're having an issue with getting this type of job because you're afraid it's going to be for the rest of your life. You don't trust that this bridge job is going to have an ending and that you're really going to follow your heart and soul dreams. You're afraid that if you get a job, an everyday job like assistant work, secretarial work, working in Starbucks, Trader Joe's, wherever you live, that pays pretty well, gets you health and benefits. You're afraid that if you get a job like that, you're going to be stuck there for the rest of your life. You don't trust yourself enough to know that you won't stay stuck in that place, that you will move forward, that you will do the spiritual work. So that's what I feel like is happening. I want to go back to Kimberly's question I saw a while ago and see if I can find it. I believe it's Kimberly that I know, but I may be wrong. What if I once had the ability to easily connect, then it seems it is gone? Kimberly, it's such an amazing question because it happens with people. And what happens with people is they stay focused on the fact that they're not having the ability anymore. So they get frustrated. They're like, oh, I used to be able to see so well. Why can't I see like I used to see? So an example of this, and I'll answer this question even further. An example of this is when I started reading, I got names like, woohoo, super clear, on the money names. And people are like, woo, she got names. They loved it. And I don't get names. I do get names, but they're not as spot on as they were then. I have to take my glasses off. They're not as spot on as they were then, but I don't get caught up in it. I let it go. And I said to Spirit recently, you have to start giving me names back again. I haven't asked them why they changed that. But they're saying right now is they just had me focusing on so many other things and they didn't want it to be about the credibility of names. That's what it was. So this is too long of a conversation to get in, but you go in and out of, when you're working in the service industry and you're getting feedback from people, you can't allow it to affect you too much. You can learn from it, the things you feel you learn from, but you've got to know that you did your job. You have to have pacts with Spirit, that you did the job, that you moved forward, that you did the best you could. I know that I come from the highest integrity, that it's never my intention to hurt a single soul. So I have to always remember that. This is a longer conversation for this. But the reason why they took the names away from me was because I was getting too into the credibility status, and they wanted me to get back into all of my work is credible, which I know that now. I mean, this whole name thing was a while ago. So they're bringing names back in now, and I've gotten people come back and say, you said this name, I didn't know what it was, oh my goodness, and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's what I'm teaching you is don't get stuck on how you did it before. Ask Spirit to show you a new way of being, a new way of doing, a new way of doing this work. That's what I would suggest you do. So just open up your gifts, try new tools and techniques. I got to go get my dog in a second, and just continue to do the work and in a new way, and don't look for it in the other way, and it'll open up again. All right, guys, I have to stop because my dog is telling me time is up. So remember that magnificent offer that I gave you, and I really, really thank you so much. There's going to be more, some more webinars, and join my Facebook page, and do let me know what you thought of this webinar. And thank you again. And Marilyn Aloria, you have until 5 p.m. Friday to get all those incredible bonuses. Remember that. And membership is absolutely amazing. And it's going to help all you spiritual people that are trying to do work to get your business going. So thank you again. And love to all of you. Thank you so much.